A clown just destroyed a sacred prayer ceremony in front of 50 people. He thought the silence was boring, so he started honking a bicycle horn. But what happens next will make him wish he'd stayed home. While most entertainers spend hours researching their clients, Kevin the Great had a different approach. Why waste time learning about customs and traditions when you could just wing it? After all, a party is a party, right? Kevin was getting ready in his cramped studio apartment, throwing props into a duffel bag. His phone buzzed with an email labeled, "Cultural Brief, please review." He swiped it away without opening it. Easy money. That's what this Mumbai gig was. Fly in, make some balloon animals, collect the check, fly out. Kevin had performed at hundreds of parties. Kids loved him everywhere. What could possibly be different about this one? Meanwhile, across the world in Mumbai, Priya was putting the finishing touches on her daughter Anjali's 10th birthday party. Every detail had to be perfect. The decorations, the food, the entertainment. This wasn't just any birthday. It was a milestone. Priya's mother, Dadi, walked through the hall inspecting everything. She paused at the entrance where a beautiful Rangoli design covered the floor. Intricate patterns made from colored sand took 3 hours to create. "Did you confirm the entertainer understands our traditions?" Priya pulled out her phone, showing Dadi the website. Kevin the Great, global superstar entertainer. 5-star reviews. Works with diverse families worldwide. He's a professional, Mum. He'll know what to do. Dadi nodded, but something in her expression suggested she wasn't convinced. The next morning, Kevin's taxi pulled up to the venue. A small sign by the entrance read, "Please remove shoes before entering." Kevin glanced at his oversized clown shoes, part of his signature look. They stayed on. He pushed through the door, leaving muddy footprints across the marble floor. Priya rushed over, her smile faltering when she saw the trail of dirt. "Oh, Mr. Kevin, we usually ask guests to remove their shoes." Kevin waved her off, already in character. "These beauties are part of the act, sweetheart. The kids expect the full Kevin experience." He spotted the Rangoli near the altar. Bright colors arranged in perfect geometric patterns. To Kevin, it looked like a game. "Hopscotch! I love this game." Before anyone could stop him, Kevin jumped into the center of the design. His massive shoes scattered colored sand in every direction. 3 hours of work destroyed in 3 seconds. Daddy's hand flew to her chest. Several family members gasped. Anjali's eyes went wide. Kevin, oblivious to the damage, struck a pose. "Who's ready for some balloon animals?" The energy in the room had shifted, but Kevin didn't notice. He was too busy setting up his props, humming loudly to himself. Priya pulled him aside, her voice strained but polite. "Kevin, in about 10 minutes we'll be doing the aarti. It's a prayer ceremony, very sacred to us. Could you just wait quietly during that part?" Kevin gave her a thumbs up, already thinking about his next bit. "Sure thing, boss lady. I'll blend right in." 10 minutes later, the family gathered around the altar. Candles were lit. The room fell into reverent silence. Dadi began the prayer, her voice soft and melodic. Kevin stood in the back, shifting his weight from foot to foot. The silence stretched on. 30 seconds. A minute. This was killing the vibe. Kids were supposed to be laughing, not standing around like statues. He pulled out a balloon. The first twist produced a loud squeak that echoed through the quiet room. Several heads turned. Kevin froze for a moment, then decided to commit. If one balloon was good, 3 would be better. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Then he grabbed his bicycle horn and gave it one enthusiastic honk. The prayer stopped. Dadi's eyes opened slowly, fixing Kevin with a look that could freeze lava. Priya's face had gone pale. This wasn't cultural misunderstanding anymore. This was disrespect. Kevin finally sensed something was wrong. The room temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. "Maybe I should, take 5. Anjali tugged on her mother's sari. "Mum, can we just do the cake now?" Priya knelt down, smoothing her daughter's hair. "Of course, beta. Let's move on." But Daddy wasn't ready to move on. She approached Kevin, her small frame somehow commanding the entire space. "Young man, do you understand what you just interrupted?" Kevin's usual confidence evaporated. "I was just trying to keep things fun, Mom." "Fun?" Daddy's voice was quiet but sharp. "You walked through our home with dirty shoes. You destroyed artwork that held meaning. You disrupted a sacred moment with noise. Tell me, what part of that shows respect?" Kevin opened his mouth, then closed it. For the first time in his career, he had no comeback. The truth settled over him like a heavy blanket. He'd been so focused on his act, his reputation, his 5-star reviews, that he'd completely ignored the people he was supposed to be entertaining. "I'm sorry." Kevin's voice came out smaller than he'd ever heard it. "You're right. I messed up. Big time." Anjali stepped forward. "It's okay, Mr. Kevin. You didn't know. But I should have." Kevin looked around the room at the faces watching him. "I should have asked questions. Should have listened when your mum tried to tell me. I thought I knew what you needed, but I didn't even try to understand." Priya exchanged a glance with Daddy. The older woman's expression had softened, just slightly. "Can I make this right?" Kevin gestured to his bag of props. "I can do the show differently, however you want, or I can just leave. Whatever's best for Anjali." Anjali looked up at her grandmother. Daddy placed a hand on the girl's shoulder, then nodded at Kevin. "Show us you can listen now." Kevin spent the next hour doing something he'd never done before. He asked questions. What games did they play at Indian parties? What songs did Anjali like? Were there any stories from their culture he should know? The family members took turns teaching him. A cousin showed him a traditional dance step. An uncle explained the significance of the colours in the destroyed Rangoli. Anjali herself taught him a Hindi phrase, "Janamdin Mubarak Ho." Happy birthday. When Kevin finally performed, it wasn't his usual routine. He incorporated what he'd learned, blending balloon animals with stories the family shared, making jokes that actually landed because he understood his audience. The kids laughed. The adults smiled. Even Daddy cracked a grin when Kevin attempted the dance move, failing spectacularly, but trying with genuine effort. After the party, as Kevin packed his equipment, Priya approached him. "You know, that ended up being pretty special." Kevin zipped his bag, then turned to face her. "I'm really sorry about earlier. All of it." Priya nodded. "But you learned. That counts for something." Daddy appeared beside her daughter. "Kevin, next time you work with a family, any family, what will you do first?" Kevin didn't hesitate. "Ask questions. Listen to the answers. Remember, it's not about me." Daddy smiled, really smiled, for the first time that day. "Then perhaps you're not such a foolish clown after all." As Kevin's taxi pulled away, he glanced back at the house. Through the window, he could see Anjali dancing with her cousins, still wearing the balloon crown he'd made. Not his usual crown design. One she'd described wanting. Because this time, he'd actually listened. Kevin sat in the airport terminal waiting for his flight, scrolling through the photos Priya had sent him. Anjali beaming with her balloon crown. The family gathered around the cake. Even one of him attempting that dance move, looking absolutely ridiculous, but genuinely happy. His phone buzzed. Another booking request. Birthday party in Singapore. Kevin's finger hovered over the accept button, then stopped. He opened his email and found the attachment he'd ignored weeks ago. Cultural brief, please review. This time, he read every word. 2 months later, Kevin's calendar looked different. Fewer bookings, sure, but each one had a folder, research notes, custom routines, questions he needed to ask. The 5-star reviews kept coming, but now they said things like, "He really understood us," and "felt like he was part of the family." His apartment wall had something new too. A framed photo from Anjali's party. Daddy had sent it with a note. "For the clown who learned to listen." Kevin looked at it every morning before heading out to gigs. A reminder that the best performance isn't about having all the answers. It's about caring enough to ask the right questions. Because here's what Kevin discovered that day in Mumbai. You can have the funniest jokes, the most impressive tricks, the shiniest costume. But if you don't respect the people you're performing for, you're just making noise. And nobody remembers noise. They remember connection. The real show starts when you stop performing and start paying attention.